Hello, and welcome to the Music Shack podcast. This is episode number 1. This week we are joined by myself, Bruce,
Anna?
Ron.
And Ed. All right, you guys ready for the Billboard?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, at the top of the, we're doing the Hot 100 first, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. We have Roddy Ricch, The Box. Everybody, anybody have feelings on that one?
I mean, I like the song. It's catchy. I feel like it does deserve where it's at. So, holding strong too. It's been up there for a couple weeks now. So
Almost all of this year. It's fucking crazy.
yeah, it's insane. Life is Good, Future featuring Drake. I don't know how that's top or number 2 at least, but
It's Drake.
it features Drake.
I know, but it's Drake.
You
Drake hasn't put anything out yet, so...
have a point.
That's all we got for him then, right?
Exactly.
It's still subpar.
Yeah.
It is. It's two songs spliced together.
Absolutely, especially where when you hear the songs, the first half cut out and go into the second one, it's completely out of nowhere.
They don't mix together at all.
They really don't. I'm breaking more shit. I'm just destructive. I'm destructive, apparently. I'm gonna not touch it.
All right. Number 3 is Post Malone's Circles.
I enjoy that track.
I do feel like it's overplayed, which is also why I don't listen to radio a whole lot.
That's why I don't listen to radio at all.
You have a point.
Same.
Although Post Malone, in my opinion, does put out some very, very good music.
Yes, Run Away While We're Running in Circles.
No,
Great
but
lyrics.
Run away, but we're running in circles.
Same difference. It's still shit.
It still sounds like an unhealthy relationship.
That's kind of the point. Kind of the point of the song there.
Ah.
Yeah. Because feed the flame because we can't let it go.
Yeah. I
Run
couldn't
away,
get
but we're running in
past all
circles.
the auto-tune in the chorus. Just too much reverb, not reverb, treble for me.
A little bit.
My favorite part of the song was the video. Straight out of Game of Thrones shit.
Video's pretty good. And at number 4, we have Memories by Maroon 5. Definitely overplayed still.
It sounds like something that would be overplayed. I did enjoy it, but I could see people hating it
Oh, absolutely.
over being overplayed.
Absolutely.
Memories is just Maroon 5 doing what Maroon 5 does.
Oh, exactly. And that's why it's why it's good. It's Maroon 5. They know how to put together some cohesive music and actually make it sound good. So, I personally like them too.
Tones and I Dance Monkey.
I have mixed feelings.
Dance
'Cause-
Monkey is extremely repetitive,
Yes.
overplayed, but I love it. It's so bubbly and just high energy.
Like, I could hear, like, maybe a DJ at a festival just dropping it in between drops. Like, or re-weaponizing it and making it its own fucking banger.
Yeah, there does feel like certain parts of the song fit in a remix of just a hodgepodge of things, or as like an intermission song. So like at a show, if somebody's playing, like if the artist on stage is playing something, and then they take a short intermission break, and then the sound crew puts this on, I could see it working really well. It's a nice break in between everything else.
And the heavy metal covers are gold.
I have not heard one.
I'm curious. I'm gonna go look them up
I've
later.
heard 2. I was not disappointed by either. I should have wrote them down.
Yes, you should have.
I'm sorry to
Now you
disappoint.
know for next time. Find something else.
Now you know.
The more you
know.
So, moving on to the Artist 100. At number 1, we have Billie Eilish.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She peaked at number 1 about number 6. She was 2 weeks ago, and she went up to number 1 last week. She's been on the chart for 76 weeks, so she's doing something right.
Probably merch. I mean, I don't think she put out an album or single lately, did she?
I don't believe she did. If you give me 1 second, I can go double check that.
All right.
You guys want to move on to something else?
We got Lil Wayne at number 2.
I know.
Bet you're happy about that.
It doesn't matter where he places. I'm gonna listen to his shit anyway.
Ah.
Yeah, so the last thing Billie Eilish put out was a recording of her live at the Steve Jobs Theater, and that was back in December.
Okay.
Okay.
Post Malone's number 3.
Again,
Not
rightfully
surprised.
deserved.
Catchy bastard.
He's a person you just can't afford to not love.
Hollywood's Bleeding is one of my favorite albums by anybody. It's got so much different variety on it.
Did not expect to hear that from you.
Most people don't.
Whenever you're speaking of anything other than metal, though, it definitely leaves me with a big question mark.
My point exactly. Because if I had just a general playlist and I threw that in there, everyone would be caught off guard. But I like what he puts out. He puts out some really good vibes with his stuff. It's very catchy and very upbeat with most of it. I just like him. And he's a chill dude too. So I just enjoy his music. Roddy Ricch actually went down. He's out number 4 now.
Yep. He was number 2 last week.
Yeah.
Russ is number 5. That's pretty cool to see.
I thought you'd have more to say about that.
Who, Roddy Ricch or Russ?
Russ.
Well, Russ is a re-entry onto the list.
Yeah.
And he was only on for 12 weeks before the re-entry, so he's not...
He's an independent artist, bro. He his last album, Shake the Snow Globe, was recorded in his basement. As is most of his shit. And it's dope as fuck. He makes his own beats, writes his own shits.
Well, I mean, if he re-enters at number 5, especially being an independent artist like that, that's commemoration right there.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the Billboard 200, so it's going to be just general albums.
Yep.
Lil Wayne is at number 1. It's a new feature on the chart this week, with Funeral.
Yeah, you dropped that album last week. It was dope.
I enjoyed a good bit of it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. His voice though, again, still weird with me. I don't necessarily like his voice, so I can only take it in so many doses.
Gotcha.
I actually didn't finish the last 4 songs just because I sat through probably about a half hour of listening to the rest of it. I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah, Mahogany's one of the standouts for me off that.
Mahogany was good.
So.
We have Roddy Ricch.
Yep, Roddy
Number
Ricch
2.
number 2.
Please excuse me for being antisocial. I didn't give it a listen.
No?
He's been on it for 9 weeks though, so he's been on the chart for 9 weeks.
I mean, for a rap album, it's alright. Like, I don't know. It's not really my thing.
I am stunned over here looking at the top 200 on Billboard and seeing Kesha's High Road up there at 7.
Really?
What?
That's a new entry too.
Yeah. There's 5 of those. The new entries are Lil Wayne's Funeral, Russ's Shake the Snow Globe, Yo Gotti's Untrapped, Kesha's album, and I forget who the other one is.
Walls by
Looks like Louis Tomlinson with Walls.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's the first time in 7 months that's happened. That they've had 5 new entries in the top 10.
That's impressive though. Eminem sitting on number 3 with Music to Be Murdered By. Kind of a surprise drop, but so was Kamikaze.
I think that's his thing now.
Hey, it gets people hype when it drops because no one even knows. So as soon as it hits and people see it, they go ape shit for it. I personally enjoyed the album. A lot of people haven't really enjoyed anything since Revival, but
How?
I don't know. I like it.
How?
I like a lot of later
You
Eminem.
like chaos.
I like a...
You like disorder and disruption. That's what you like.
I enjoy a lot of his later stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Enjoying the noise.
To me, it's good noise. Okay.
Hey, bro. Obviously, my brain's not fucked up like yours is.
No, it's fucked up in different ways. Don't worry.
beautiful ways. Twisted, beautiful ways.
But as we stated, Shake the Snow Globe is at number 4. Then Hollywood's Bleeding hasn't really moved. It's sitting at number 5. I still think it believes it'd be top 5 at least. I'm glad it's in top 10 though, because like I said, it is a very, very good list of tracks. But moving on into our album discussion, we've all picked a couple different albums. We're gonna have one each that we talk about. Is there anybody that wants to start us off?
How about you?
All right. If I'm gonna start us off, I'm gonna start us off with "Cycle of Suffering" by Silosis.
Okay.
Came out, I believe, February 7th. And personally, I was following this when they dropped "I Sever" as a single. There's a gentleman on YouTube that I found who did a guitar cover of it, and he did I don't think he did a cover of it, but he did a reaction video to the music video. And the song itself, along with the video, are actually phenomenal. And as you go through everything else, you hear a lot of different sounds in terms of rhythm, and then you also get a lot of emotion out of his lyrics, even though the frontman is actually screaming everything for the most part. But you can feel the emotion coming out of him.
I mean, yeah. It took me a little bit to go through the album because it hit a little too close to home with the shits.
With I Sever, though, there were certain aspects of his vocals that definitely gave me BVB flashbacks in a good way.
Some of the guitar riffs actually gave me Avenged Sevenfold vibes based on how he sang over them, with how he collided with the riffs themselves, and even the drum work at sometimes just very reminiscent of the Rev a little bit. So it was nice to hear that, especially just throughout the entire album. It wasn't on like specific songs that they did that. It was just throughout the entire album that there's a lot of variety.
You know what else had given me a little bit of some Black Veil Brides vibes were some of the higher notes played in the guitar in the song after I Sever on that album.
Cycle of Suffering will be the song that you're talking about.
Is that the one directly after?
That's the one
I
I believe
Sever?
that's the title track is after, yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Trying to find it so I can look at it.
Yeah, I found the album to be a graceful walk through the darkness with my demons.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it because I'm also a fan of heavy metal, especially the British kind.
I also love the song titles throughout this entire thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were British.
Yeah,
Really?
I
I
believe
did
they
not
also
pick up on that
play.
at all.
Believe they play in drop E or E
Think
standard,
so.
one of the two. They make it sound really heavy.
I mean,
So-
E standard's what most guitars are tuned to.
Yeah, I think they just kept that, and they just, with the way they play their riffs and the way that he sings over everything and harmonizes, it makes it just very heavy and very aggressive when it needs to be. But, you know, like the song titles, like I said, you have Empty Prophets, you have I Sever, you have the title track, Cycle of Suffering, Shield, Calcified, Invidia, Idle Hands, Apex of Disdain, Arms Like a Noose, I think it's one of my favorite ones, and then Devils in Their Eyes, another one of my favorite ones,
that was one of my
Disintegrate,
favorites.
and Abandon.
See, Abandon was like different to me. Like than all the other tracks, it like stood out because it was like a little softer, and then like it got harder. And like I like the way they grooved that.
It's definitely a nice send off to the end of and to the end of the whole set list. I do feel like it was a good send off.
Another thing about Cycle of Suffering as a whole album, I've got to say, I am not allowed to drive to that. Woo!
In what way?
In what way? What do you
Speeding?
mean? Have you never noticed that you get more and more of a lead foot as the music picks up?
I don't personally.
You are a lucky man.
Well, I also drive a stick shift, so I kind of have to be a little more controlled.
I
You
see.
drive an automatic.
I do. but I go from 50 to 70 real fast.
I could probably do that with Motionless in White, but
There was a couple on this album that just got me, and I was like, whoa, no, not in the car.
I definitely like the breakdown in I Sever though. That part, where he starts chugging it and then speeds it up a little bit, and there's a drum roll behind it, and then it keeps repeating that for like, what, 30 seconds ish. That was definitely a nice thing to have in there. Nice little flavor.
Oh, and in Empty Profits, I even checked the time in which it started up. At 1 minute and 16 seconds in, there is this tasty high little fucking guitar riff.
It's a good listen. I would definitely recommend everybody to go give it a try, even if it's not your favorite genre. It's a nice little journey, as Ed said, through darkness. It's very, very nice.
No, Ed, I'm blind deaf.
All right. What's the next genre we're covering?
Why don't we jump into yours?
All right. Did y'all give Pop Smoke's Meet the Woo 2 listen?
I did not have enough time, unfortunately.
So nobody listened to it. All right. The album was loaded with a lot of dope beats. It's inspired by Chicago drill, which Chicago drill is inspired by UK drill. I loved all the beats. He really lacked diversity in his lyrics. It was either gangster shit or designer shit. But that's to be expected with a 20-year-old artist. Like,
There's not gonna be a whole lot of variation there.
Yeah.
They'll be stuck in their comfort zone, and they start breaking out probably a little later.
yeah. All right.
Alright. So, Saints and Sinners by the Irish Rovers. How'd you guys enjoy it?
For what I went through, it's nice. It's a different feel going from, everything that's energetic and aggressive in the metal genre, and then you have all the different beats in hip hop and rap, and to go to something like that, it's a nice break.
Yeah.
I definitely did enjoy the first few songs that I went through. I will definitely have to go through the rest of it. It does have me intrigued. Particularly the last song that's on the album,
That is
titled "The Irish Reggae Band."
Yay!
it is something to behold.
You start off the song on a beach, and you're just as confused as you are delighted by this tune.
That has me excited then. 'Cause
Especially deciphering the accent, because if you're not listening, you won't notice at first.
okay,
I even pointed it out to Ed until they actually say Irish. You can hardly catch the accent because they've done a mock Jamaican.
Which made the song even much better.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it sounded more like a country singer trying to go for a country vibe until she pointed out how they say Irish. And then it's like, yeah, you can tell it's more Irish. I enjoyed Braid Watermill. I always enjoy Irish worker songs. Banshee's Cry was another one I enjoyed off the album. And Star the County Down. I enjoy that song, and they did a great cover of it. So, I haven't heard a cover of it that I didn't like.
Yeah.
First time I heard it was the High Kings.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm gonna say I definitely enjoyed Shanghaied Again and An Irishman in Paris. Two songs I can definitely sing along to anywhere.
An Irishman in Paris was pretty good.
yeah, that was good.
It's a nice little upbeat one.
I love the whimsical nature to almost each of the songs on this album. in their own respective way. Like, obviously, the Irish reggae band is going to be completely different from Saints and Sinners or, you know, the Banshee.
Irish Whiskey Song has me just intrigued by the title. It's very stereotypical, so I can only imagine what it's going to pertain to. But that one just sounds like a little feel-good party song in some regards.
It is.
Like I said, I'm going to go through it more probably this weekend or next week when I have time.
Anyone give Green Day's new album a listen? Father of all motherfuckers.
If it's anything like Revolution Radio, I know most of it kind of is. The first 3 songs I actually enjoyed. But, I mean, I also just like Green Day in general, so I think I'm going to enjoy it more than most. But
I enjoyed 8 of the 10 songs on this, like, thoroughly. So,
definitely. I mean, if you like Green Day, go ahead. Obviously, give it a listen. But they kind of sound the same, like instrumentally, as they have throughout all of their stuff. But you can definitely hear that they've, you know, matured a little bit and mellowed out in terms of energy and lyrics. But it's nice to see that evolution too. Even with the Revolution Radio, which was the previous album, you can definitely hear the transition from all of the angst from the older stuff into the more matured lyrics of the new stuff. They still have a good mix of the two though, so it's nice to have that balance, especially for returning listeners and newer ones. So we get a little taste of everything. I think we have one more to go through.
which
Oh, all I have today is Billboard's top 5 in pop
okay,
and a little tidbit about each of them.
and we could also dive into the singles. There's also A7X's new album. If anyone listened to it other than me,
Diamonds in the Rough. It's a reissue, but it's so fantastic because literally every song on it is an unreleased song that didn't make an album cut from every iteration of their sound. Because you have stuff from, well, not every iteration, because Sounding the Seventh Trumpet was the first album they did. They don't have anything that got cut from that. But from City of Evil and on, there's a taste of every album. There's a taste of City of Evil. There's a taste of Waking the Fallen. There's a taste of their self-titled Nightmare, Hail to the King, and they also have a couple covers on there. Personally, the Paranoid cover isn't my favorite. It's good, but it's all right.
they shouldn't do covers. Like, the band does a really good job, but dude's vocals, no.
It depends
Not
on the cover.
Walk or
You didn't
Paranoid.
like Walk? No?
No.
See, I didn't mind it.
His voice ruined it for me.
It is a little higher pitched, especially for Pantera.
Yeah.
It is definitely a takeaway for most. But my God, Set Me Free, the one they were actually writing this album with, which was the single they put out a little while ago to promote this, basically. Hail to the King era. It's a slower song, 6 minutes, but the guitar solos are top notch because Zaki Vengeance and Sinister Gates just do a very good job on the guitars. I love the rhythm, and just the sound it conveys is very, very powerful. That and Acid Rain, because Acid Rain is the only other slow song on that album. They're both very different, but they're both very good.
I enjoyed Demons, Crossroads, and Lost It All.
Lost
that
It All is
album?
from Nightmare, and that one's kind of creepy, only because of the way he sings in I think it's in the chorus and the beginning of it. It's very, very different.
I enjoyed it.
It's very, very good. Flash of the Blade is one of my favorites, honestly.
I couldn't get into it.
No?
No. I have a hard time getting into like any form of music that's written about like the fucking mid ages to like pirate shit. I just can't groove with it unless it's actually from that time. Because I'm fucked up.
Another song that was from the Hail to the King era is St. James. And anybody who listens to A7X profoundly and on a regular will know that this song is about James the Rev Sullivan, who is the original drummer for the group, had passed away in mid-2010 when they were making Nightmare. This was a tribute song to him 3 years later. And it talks about how he was as a person all throughout childhood and throughout his time with the band. And he was a very powerful individual in terms of connections. He had a lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones, which they talk about in the song. And how that most people didn't really understand the kind of person the Rev was, unless you actually paid attention to him. Because he always had an aura about him where he was always trying to be friends with somebody, even if it was just a random homeless person on the street somewhere. He would always take his time out of his day to sit down and talk to somebody, make them feel special, make them feel better about themselves, and just brighten everybody up. That was who he was.
Solid heart of gold.
For every whisper he would scream, for every drought he would share a drink. That's one of the lines in the song. He is just that kind of person. It sucks that he's gone because a lot of his drum work was very innovative and very different, and you just know it's his if you know what it sounds like. It's a shame that we lost him in 2010, around December. So I think it was actually closer to Christmas is when it happened, which is unfortunate. But he lives on with everybody, and everybody who, is feeling down a little bit that he's gone, or just in general, can give the song a listen. And definitely, you can feel a little better about it, about whatever's going on.
Damn, bro, you got me tearing up.
I mean, listen to Fiction, too, which is off a Nightmare. That's another good song. It's creepy because he wrote it, and he was like, this song has to be the last one on the album. And for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, in terms of lyrics, he almost knew he was just going to die. And this was going to be his legacy. This was going to be what he wanted there. So Shadows did it, and he put it as the last song. So definitely give the list of songs off of Diamonds in the Rough a listen. Even if it's ones you've already heard, it's nice nostalgia to have.
Want to dive into singles?
Go right ahead.
All right. I gave y'all Delvin and Sire B's Channeling Rain. Y'all give that a listen?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I gave it one this morning.
The opening made me wonder if the music was actually starting or if it was a horror movie ad.
It was a very odd choice of an intro. I was thinking to myself, where is this gonna go? And then they jump right into it. I like it. It's nice and catchy. In terms of beat, can definitely get you hyped up too if you're in the right mindset for it.
Did anybody else actually look at the video?
I did not.
I did not.
Their voices do not match their faces at all.
That happens a lot with the grime scene. I don't know why, but every video that I've seen where a grime artist is rapping, their face does not seem to match their voice.
I don't fully understand why, but it gets me hype as shit.
I mean, they rap with a lot of energy. Typically, their beats are at 140 BPM, where like typical hip hop beats here in America are around 86 BPM.
Speaking of the beats, the tracks, whatever's going on, I love it. I'll definitely be bumping these guys more often.
So it definitely did flow very well. I'll have to give it another couple tries just to really understand the lyrics themselves, because they're kind of shit talking a little bit, and they're kind of just boasting that.
That's a lot of grime.
Fair.
Like half the time when I'm listening to grime, I'm wondering who the fuck they're going after. Because, I don't know. They're normally just like, suck your mother, mate. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, with a lot of shit talking, a lot of like self boosting, like self promoting, self boasting. It was kind of typical for me, from what I would hear for that genre or just in general. But it was nice. I personally liked it.
I enjoyed it. Found that them constantly switching back and forth, I couldn't tell when they switched singers, but it felt very smooth for me.
I feel like the accents were a nice added touch to it too.
Oh, the accents are everything. Everything.
I've been trying to find out when their album's supposed to drop.
Definitely
Supposedly there's an album coming out.
let me
Supposedly.
know. 'Cause I will go through that when I have time.
Yeah, I want to switch it over to EDM.
Sure.
Yes. So I believe we have was it Time Travel Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Yes, I typed that in wrong when I went on YouTube.
What did you end up listening to?
No. I realized it after I typed it in.
But they made a complete banger of a track. It was Half an Orange and DJ Affixa. And they just hit you with the sound that makes you feel good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the reminiscent lyrics.
They went
Yeah.
for it.
It was bouncy as all hell. Perfect get shit done music.
It's definitely something you can have on the background or actually actively listen to. And either way, it's going to be great. Because if you're listening in the background, you could just listen to the beat. And the beat itself is really, really nice. It's a little simplistic, but it's a nice journey through it for the 3 minutes that it goes on. And then if you actually give a listen to the lyrics over it, the lyrics are actually very nostalgic in some cases, depending on who you are. For me, it was the Halo reference.
And the staying up all night and not being able to see or read the next day at school because you just had so much fun with your friends overnight.
Yep.
Like I said, the reminiscent lyrics were
Right.
awesome.
Because you and I definitely know about the staying up all night thing.
I think everybody does. Anyone
Oh,
who
yeah.
was a teenager.
Oh, him and I were playing VR games for one weekend. This past weekend, actually, I think it was.
Yeah.
Up until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that shit.
Bro,
You lose time
that's
in there.
that's it. 2 o'clock in the morning,
I had to call it. I couldn't stand up.
fam. Like normally, me and Kenny will fucking sit around and play games till like maybe 7 a.m. from time to time. Like 2.
I've pulled one all-nighter, never again.
I've
Can't
done
do it.
a few. It was easy when I did it all the time.
Yeah.
Yo, what is the longest you've stayed up?
At
I
least
reached
48
almost
hours.
3 days, started tripping.
I did a full 24 hours. I couldn't do it.
What was there anything else involved?
Well, I walked into a wall because it moved in front of me. The stairs went from 25 to 50. It was great. Falling down each and every one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe 28, 30 hours sleep, and then right back going. But yeah,
I
I
couldn't do it.
never pulled no 3 days.
It's easy when you're sitting in front of a computer and you're just doing nothing the entire time.
That's
I would
exactly
fall
what I did.
asleep.
I just gotta play more music. Keeps you going.
I would still fall asleep.
Yeah, no, I follow shit to my playlist half the time. But moving on to the next song, we have the newest single by Five Finger Death Punch, "Living the Dream."
Bro, I checked out with the superhero lyrics. I was like, I'm enjoying the band shit, but the superhero lyrics, I'm like, kind of like caused me to check out. Sorry.
It's a nice way to talk about what goes on, like in someone's head at times, or just in society. Because especially it says, "Hey, mighty Superman, can you save us from ourselves?" Like that's a very, for how simple it is, it does hit pretty hard for most people. because we all struggle with our own inner problems. So it's nice to have that. And then the end of it is because I'm just Iron Man, I'm a ghost within a shell. Another way to say some of us might be empty, but
Yeah.
you know, or society is itself.
It was deep as fuck, bro.
I reminisce with some of this, like I resonate with half of it.
Living the Dream definitely. When I listen to Five Finger Death Punch, it's because I want to feel angry and I want to get shit done. And the new song definitely gets that feeling across you.
Absolutely, the instrumental is very aggressive, like right from the start, and it doesn't stop. It's one of those ones that this is gonna be a mosh pit song, 100%. It's gonna be a mosh pit song.
I disagree with you on that a little bit. The whole time I was listening to it, yes, I enjoyed the intensity, but I was left wanting more. I wanted one more step up.
I feel like you're gonna get it with the rest of the album.
I still wanted it in that song. That opening, the intensity kind of just built a little bit and just leveled out.
Well, I feel like if they would have delivered a traditional breakdown structure instead of the groove breakdown that they normally do, because they're a groove type of metal, I feel like a traditional breakdown would be sufficient for that, because that definitely drops the intensity into it. But they do pretty good with their solos.
Was it yesterday during the meeting? I brought up what was it? Crossfaith's Endorphins.
It's a top-notch banger.
Yes.
It's a very nice blend of electronic and metalcore. It was a perfect blend, in my opinion. Everything, where everything was, it fit together perfectly. It was meant to. Where it was where it was meant to be. The breakdown was nasty.
Yes.
That breakdown. If you're gonna headbang to it, prepare for a headache later, like a minor one, because it'll make you go hard.
If you're gonna headbang to it, prepare for minor headache.
Just that song itself. If you're listening okay. If you're just listening to it itself without anything prior or after, you're gonna feel a little hurt afterward.
If you want to feel like you're 45, headbang to the song.
More or less. It's a good listen. I recommend it.
All right. Anybody got some random shits that they'd like to talk about?
I would love to talk about Roxanne.
Okay.
I am dying to talk about Roxanne.
Okay.
Fire away.
Tell us then.
So Roxanne by Arizona Servas.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know how it's top 5 on the pop Billboard. I'm dying to know how it got there. The only possible reason I think it is up there is because other people felt the way I did originally and thought maybe, just maybe, this was a cover of Roxanne by the Police. Only to be sorely disappointed.
That it was nothing like what we wanted.
That was not at all what I thought I was getting into. And I'm pissed. I was let down. How are you going to title the song Roxanne and it not be Roxanne?
I mean, in many forms of music, people label songs the same thing, and it's not the same thing.
Are you
Like-
telling me that you can read Roxanne and you don't hear Roxanne?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Thank
And
you.
it's what most people hear. It's what I definitely heard.
Case closed. That's it.
But there's not many songs named Roxanne. But if I could think of an example right now, I would give it to you. But I know there's plenty of songs that have
And
similar
I gave
names.
you an example. I made my point. I cannot read Roxanne without hearing the Police. Bruh. Like, I'm looking at it in my own damn handwriting right now, and I still just hear the police. Boom, 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 boom.
Five Finger Death Punch is actually working on their own movie right now.
Oh, shit.
Part of it is actually filmed in Vineland, New Jersey. It's they rented a couple bikes for the shoot, and apparently Ivan Moody bought the bike he rented, which I'm not surprised at. Dude has more money than he knows what to do with. But probably gonna give it a view when I learn more about it and learn when it comes out.
Are we talking about bicycles or like motorbikes?
Motorbikes,
Okay.
actual like full-on Harleys. They rented like 5 of them, I think. So,
Oh, you bought all 5?
no, he just bought his.
Oh.
Don't know if anybody else bought theirs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, though.
I mean, I've seen people do dumber flexes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Lamb of God, Checkmate.
Did not hear it.
It's very good. Oh, I played it the other day. I think I played it yesterday for you in the briefing, but
I may have been checked out.
may have. Definitely give it a listen. It's off the new self-titled coming out. I'm excited. Falling in Reverse actually just released The Drug in Me Is You, but a new version of it. It's like a piano version. Athletes, and I love the name of it, is The Drug in Me Is Reimagined. So it was a play on the title. But
Oh, that's clever. I
It's,
like that.
it's a piano rendition of the full song.
And it was... I like that it was a little more tender.
Yeah, I feel like the lyrics hit
Not
hit closer to home for some people better
and
than it already did.
It wasn't just the fact that he switched over to like piano acoustic vibe. It was that he drew out some of the fucking lyrics. It was beautiful.
Well, definitely because it's a lot slower. It makes it so you can do that.
But he didn't just slow them down. He softened them, and some of them he just held in a way.
Radke knows how to play with his voice and play with different lines of songs to convey them in certain ways.
It's a shame that he's always got this tough guy act on, because when he chills out and is a little bit softer is when he truly fucking shines. I'm not saying be a little puss baby, cry and whine about through all your songs and just do all that heartbroken, sad, I've been through my darkest times kind of stuff. No, but come on, be a little bit more real.
Well,
Soften it up.
Well, even without softening it up, you can listen to Popular Monster, which was the one before this, which is a completely new track. My God. Lyrics, you can feel the emotion throughout the entire thing. And he actually blends his rap aspects over, not over the metal aspect that they normally have, but he does a good blend of the two throughout like the first half and the second half of the song. So, and they've been doing that a lot recently, so it's nice to hear that again. But I'm excited to see if they come out with anything more. So when they finally talk about the new album that's probably going to come out, I'll be excited. I do want to get this out here. We are recording as of February 13th. It's a Thursday on Valentine's Day. So if anybody's watching on that day, if we get it out beforehand, if anybody watching this after the fact, Hollywood and Dead coming out with New Empire Volume 1 on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. I've had the privilege of hearing everything prior to the full release, because there is a channel I watch on YouTube who gets everything from them immediately. Very, very good. I think some of their best work. You get a lot of vibes from American Tragedy, Swan Songs, and Five. and a little bit of Notes from the Underground. And maybe one song is Day of the Dead. But you get a mix of everything, so it's something for everybody. Lyrically, I think it's some of their best work they've ever done. And the songs got better as they got released, ironically. Which was kind of funny, because it started with Already Dead. It then went into Time Bomb. And then it went into... Give me 1 second, I'll find it. Went into... So it's Already Dead, Time Bomb, Empire. Is the first 3 singles released. They got better as they went on. And then the rest of the album is straight bangers. Like all the way. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And then, what are you giggling at?
Talking about Valentine's Day in Hollywood and Dead, and I just...
Oh, the joke I made before?
You damn well know why I'm laughing.
Distance.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't even breathe.
I made a joke a couple weeks ago about the album landing on Valentine's Day and how it was going to be the only thing that I was banging. And apparently I threw a little salt into my comment.
Oh, it was salty as all shit. You were saltier than McDonald's fries, my dude.
I didn't intend to be, but I guess that makes it better.
You spit acid in my face.
No, I was sitting on that joke for like 3 days.
And you spit it out like acid. It was beautiful. The delivery was gold. This is not a complaint.
But, no, I'm super excited for that. So anybody who's an HU fan, part of the Undead Army, definitely go hit it like as soon as it drops. Or go to the channel that happens to have everything listed.
Right back to business, huh? You just gonna throw that joke out there and go right on back to it? You just gonna like tighten up your tie and straighten out your fucking collar?
Yes.
Get right on back to it, huh?
Yes.
Suicide Boys are supposed to be dropping their album tomorrow.
Really?
Yes, it's labeled Stop Staring at the Shadows.
Interesting title.
Sounds like a good title.
It's the Suicide Boys.
Oh, look, you're back.
People are staring at the shadows,
Never went anywhere.
thinking, suicide.
Yo, Suicide's badass.
No, it's not. We're not promoting that.
I was making a meme. But,
No.
You can't vocally meme.
Yeah,
You can vocally
you can
reference
vocally
memes.
meme.
You can reference them.
Just
You can't
not how
make
he
them
did it.
vocally.
you can. It's just frowned upon. Doesn't mean you can't do it. No,
You
I don't.
need
I don't condone suicide either. But
But you need the visual for the meme.
We now
Everybody
have
knows what I'm
to
talking
change
about.
the opening to a what is it, a suicide prevention thing, and follow it with the suicide hotline, because this guy,
suicide
What?
jokes left and right.
yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's not funny.
I'm not saying it is funny.
It's why I got pissed off at A7X's 4 a.m. Okay, the voices in my head do not need any help.
Yet you listened to all of Cycle of Suffering.
I listened to the whole A7X album.
This is true.
Like, no.
Both of you guys
Here's
know
my
You
issue.
can talk to me if you're going through any dark times, okay?
Even if it's just at the bedtime.
Here's
Okay,
my
Dr.
issue.
Phil.
Okay,
Oh,
it's
oh.
4 a.
What?
Here's a quote from the song.
What does he? Okay. What? Do you not know who I was referencing?
No, I don't.
The principal from South Park.
I don't watch South Park.
Is it
Sorry, I'm
is that
uncultured.
Mr. Mackey?
So anyway, the song 4 a.m. by A7X has a piece where it says, "It's 4 in the morning. You got one more chance to die."
Mm-hmm.
That pissed me the fuck off.
You didn't raise him right.
The voices in my head do not need any more encouragement.
Neither do mine. But it's still a
Okay.
good song.
No.
That's an opinion, Ed.
So I guess on a brighter note,
Please, we need something here.
All this darkness. We just have like what 10 minutes of straight.
so Patty
Bullshit.
and the Rats, a Celtic punk band, recently put out a song called "Make a Change," basically saying how we can make the earth better
Oh,
Oh,
and how we can help support each other.
yeah, we should do that.
well, that sounds beautiful.
Let's start by
It's
killing
even
Ron.
better in song form. Wait, what?
Why?
Whoa, wait, I missed that.
I
It's
can
probably
see
a
when I
good
have the
thing.
headphones on.
No. Ed?
I feel threatened.
You should.
Okay.
Oh. A display of male dominance? What?
He might be. I don't know, but I was not trying to.
So you're a bottom.
I didn't say that.
Your eyes lit up. Like, you looked at me and they were jet black. And then they widened and they were this bright electric blue for half a second.
Moving on.
He's both.
He tried to shoot laser beams at his eyes at me. You guys didn't see what I saw. You weren't there like I was.
You're right. None of us was even in the room.
I said you weren't there like I was. You weren't across the table getting laser beams shot at you. And acid spit in your face.
Okay.
Are you Superman or an alien?
I'll leave that up to you. Can glean what you want from that.
Mean what you want.
Ronnie here with the vocabulary lesson for the day.
You're rather talkative. You have any albums to speak about that are coming up?
I mostly just wanted to talk about Roxanne.
All right.
That was Anna's rant for the week.
One who writes wild card.
You think I don't
And
have
just-
more rants? Okay.
I didn't say
Wild.
you didn't.
This was a test for all of you. I wanted to see what you would do. It was a psychological test. I was like, I wonder. Let's see if Ed does anything. He's asking me why. Okay. Let's move on to Bruce. Maybe. Just maybe. There's a slight chance. He might do something. And now he's looking at me like I'm crazy. All right. Let's see what Ronnie does. There's a slim to none chance. And he's looking at it. He shook his head no. All right. We give up on that.
Well, you haven't done anything to support the wild card yet, so just showing us wild card means
It was-
nothing so far.
As I said, it was a psychological test. I have shown wild card in separate meetings and done crazy things. I was curious. You all failed.
You've been laughing
Miserably.
psychotically through the entire pod.
Blame him. Blame him and his Valentine's Day jokes.
Who are we blaming?
Excuse me? You know damn well I'm blaming Ron.
I'm just saying, no one can see
Ron?
what we're doing.
Apparently, I'm the bad guy in the room now.
Yes.
the bad guy.
And there's the copyright strike.
Hey, it wasn't
I
sung
think there's
correctly,
more
so-
that you have to do than that
Look,
to get
I didn't
copyright
sing it
strike.
correctly, so they can't.
And
get
isn't
me.
there like a certain amount of it that you need? Like, is he
I
under
think
the
it's 10
time
seconds.
amount?
Technically, it's a 10-second thing.
Boom.
So as long as it's under
It's
9
also-
seconds, you're
And
good.
I'd have to sing it in tune, so I have
Yes.
that going for me.
No, actually, you don't have to sing it in tune.
Oh, that's bullshit.
What?
The YouTube algorithm, as long as it detects that you are singing the lyrics, they can choose to copyright strike you if they want. Even if
No,
even if you
that's-
don't do a full 10 seconds, they can still choose to do it. A lot of times they don't though.
They're breaking my balls, man.
So I guess we're not allowed to say what because that was like Lil Jon's
what-
way to make $1
what-
million every 2
So what you're
weeks.
saying is I can't say yeah.
No, but in some cases, there are certain things that.
What
There are
about
certain things that they'll
okay?
ignore.
Can I say okay? You
Okay,
know
now
how
you're-
I'm
now
about to
you're-
say it.
Now you're just getting too technical.
Whoa. I got questions and I need answers.
Well,
We can
YouTube
do
has
this
the
during-
algorithm and terms of
Make a
service
video
printed out so you can go read.
specifically
it.
just
You have
going
the answers
through
to
and saying all
questions.
different things and see what finally gets bit.
That would be interesting.
You can also be taken down from showing private parts.
Absolutely.
So let's not do that.
Aw, man!
Wait, what if it's a private video?
What did, sir? Sir.
YouTube still has access to that.
Well, yeah, they still have access to that, but can they still take it down because technically not everyone can see it?
Yes.
All right, guys, call security.
Why would you put that on YouTube?
Well, I'm just curious.
No,
Privately.
they still have access to all admin privileges, so they can take down whatever they want.
YouTube do what they want.
I just
Yeah.
haven't read the
But,
After they upload it to xnxx.com
Yes.
and then
Man.
gets transported to X videos and possibly moves
You
to
know, I was
Pornhub,
fine
depending
before
on
you
the
said
quality.
anything, but now I just want to reference song after song after song, and like, God,
You trying
it
to
hurts.
demonetize us here?
It hurts. It really does.
Only the first episode.
It's because you told me I can't.
I didn't say you can't.
Well, you made it sound that way.
I mean,
And
that's
if it's
YouTube.
going to be taken down, then that means that I can't, right?
No,
Well, nothing makes you want to do something more than when somebody says you can't.
This is
just
true.
because something's a bad idea doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just usually frowned upon.
Okay.
You and your logic.
But in other news, back on topic anyway.
Probably on metal topic and
Wait, we had a topic to talk about?
Oh, hush. But anybody who goes to concerts
okay.
on, I think it's May 15th, there is a concert coming up with I Prevail, Papa Roach, Five Finger Death Punch, and one other group. Name is Ice Nine Kills.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a very good show for anybody who's wanting to go. Ice Nine Kills primarily specializes with the current album in horror movie themed songs.
Okay.
The album is called The Silver Scream. Very aggressive, very creepy in some aspects, but depending on the song. And I Prevail, very energetic. Five Finger Death Punch, we all know how they are for the most part. And then you have Papa Roach, and Papa Roach, it's Papa Roach. They have their stable, but gonna be a good show. The next day is the MMRBQ. The lineup is a little underwhelming for me, personally.
Like that penis that she just drew and showed all of us.
Is this not enough for you?
It's very
Do
underwhelming.
I not have enough for you, Ed? You said it was underwhelming.
He just needs the tip.
Enough said.
Enough said. But and then
Should I mark that as an edit point?
No.
no, we can keep that.
Oh, okay.
And then I believe it's June 18th. There is another concert. It's Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and In Flames. I'm excited for that one. I want to go. That's a stacked lineup. So definitely keep an eye out for tickets. They're about $44 a lawn ticket, depending on your venue. So definitely get a ticket if you're interested in going for any of those groups. I believe that's all I have at the moment, unless we want to jump into releases that are coming up.
I mean, we kind of been doing that.
This is true.
I fired off Suicide Boys. You fired off the Hollywood Undead. He fired off that Irish song about saving the earth.
I am still super hyped for Tame Impala's album coming out tomorrow. The Slow Rush.
I just love their group name.
Tame Impala?
So, The Weeknd decided he wanted to tease the name of his album and not say when it's dropping.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, gave you the middle finger, huh?
I have blue balls.
Oh, left you hanging.
Well, you might as well share at this point, right?
I mean, if you're going to drop the name, you might as well drop the date.
Or an expected window.
How are you not going to drop the date? That's
Well,
just
it's
wrong.
gonna drop either tomorrow or after that.
Well, maybe he wants everybody to be really fucking thirsty for it.
So, I follow some shit, and there's this theory that The Weeknd has an issue with Party Next Door. And Party Next Door is supposed to be dropping sometime upcoming. So I want to be shocked because their theory seems to line up. Party Next Door drops a song, The Weeknd drops a song. And it just seems to work that way. So if Party Next Door drops and The Weeknd decides to drop right after, it would confirm the theory to me. Even though it's a crazy conspiracy theory.
Everybody get your tinfoil hats.
I forgot mine.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Hello, weary traveler.
So, and if you're looking for new stuff, new music, to break out of your comfort zone, by all means, go find what you can enjoy.
Definitely.
Peruse around YouTube, peruse around Spotify, whatever you use. Find something.
Spotify has a great release radar thing. You can go under it, and they'll have like a list of like brand new music that just came out, and it does not discriminate based off of your listening
Really?
habits.
That's interesting.
It's actually not the release radar; it's something else. I'll have it for you next week.
But yeah, a lot of, like I said, a lot of neat stuff coming out. It's gonna be a good year.
Yep. Roy's supposed to drop next week. That's gonna be dope.
Suicide Silence. They got one coming out on Valentine's Day, so that one's gonna be fun to go through. But yeah, like I said, break out of comfort zones. Use the YouTube mix, or just follow the algorithm, or like I said, Spotify, Pandora, anything. Just break out of your comfort zone. Find something new. Broaden your horizons. That's about all I have.
Adulty adults talking about music.
Bruce, you look like you have something you want to add.
Oh, I want to talk about Dragon Force's album from September, but I've been told no.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that's not
Yeah,
relevant
from
anymore.
September.
Denied.
It
Well,
is
I guess I'll be
February.
talking about the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville. We're going back that far.
I could talk about Trauma, which was back in August. So
Well, that's further back than September, so
Yes.
you gotta hold yourself.
I don't think that's part of our.
Yeah, let's talk about the Slim Shady LP.
Oh yeah! My favorite by far.
I'm back. I believe that's all we have for this week.
I believe so too.
Would you like to hit us up with your lovely outro?
Are we going with the outro?
I'd say we
Yes.
could. I'd paraphrase a little bit
Do you believe you have enough context in there?
without stumbling over yourself.
Don't forget to enunciate.
Enunciation
Is
is
key.
overrated.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't have enough of that. So
Did-
Did you not
words-
listen?
In the words of
Oh,
the
no,
wise
no.
Toby Fox, don't forget to enunciate it. Or not Toby Fox, Tobuscus.
I was gonna say that's not
You know, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So,
doesn't.
That's why this is going to be
Whatever.
rather brief.
okay.
All right, this concludes our weekly podcast. We'll be back next week with new songs, new albums to talk about. Till then, have a great week, stay safe, and enjoy the noise.